Okay, here we are down in Tecoma, and we're talking to two protesters who have been here for ages, protesting this ugly site where McDonald's are planning to set up shop and basically foul the neighbourhood of lovely Tecoma. They've got some nice trees and yeah, nice little place to live away from all the hustle and bustle. But McDonald's have got other ideas. Now, who are we talking to today?
I'm Davey.
Davey?
Jane.
And
Jane.
Jane, yep. Okay, guys, so you're a part of the protest group. How long have you guys been down here?
Well, we've been involved for about 2 years. Getting up to 2 years.
We haven't been on site.
We haven't been on site, no. But
Fair enough.
We're coming down, off and on throughout the week.
Yeah.
So it started on Monday.
And when, do you know when they first, started the planning and all that sort of thing for all this, how long's it all been going on sort of in the pipeline within,
Well, they had their first, there was a meeting in September 2011 with the council had like a public kind of meeting where you could come along and have a look at their initial plans. So I'd say that they'd obviously been planning it for some months before that because it actually got to the point where they had plans drawn up. So I'd say probably early 2011.
Okay.
Start of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And basically, the reaction from the locals, the local community, what sort of reaction against it or about it has it been in general?
In general, pretty negative.
Pretty negative, yeah.
Negative would be
I can imagine.
And people are opposed to it for a whole lot of various reasons. Some of us, I think most people just don't want it here because it doesn't fit the character of the town. It's just completely. It'll be the biggest built form in the Tecoma kind of strip of shops. It'll be 3 times larger than any of the other stores.
Okay, yeah.
And it's going to be 24 hours. And this is a quiet town that closes at about 9 o'clock at night. So we're not very happy about the idea of having a 24-hour drive.
Well, a 24-hour Macca's. Well, you can imagine the. People turning up drunk late at night, burnouts, noise, rubbish. I mean,
Yeah, and there's quite a few, like just along the back here, which is the back of where the drive-through will be. There's quite a number of elderly residents who are actually quite frightened about what it's going to be like here, particularly on the weekend.
Oh yeah.
And then there's the fact that it's across the road from the primary school and preschool, so there's a lot of parents who are particularly up in arms about that.
Yep.
The rubbish, the litter, and then just the whole way in which I think ultimately now what a lot of people are really angry about is the complete lack of democratic process involved in this.
Yeah.
We had a record number of submissions to the council when McDonald's put in their planning permit. We had the biggest council meeting, I think, on record. We had like 700 people who turned up and the council actually took their vote. They voted unanimously against the permit, and then McDonald's challenged it at VCAT.
Right.
And they brought in the biggest law company in the world, Norton Rose, and they used the might of that company to basically bully their way into the community and override a completely, democratic process.
Right. Yep.
And I think.
And VCAT have been spineless, basically.
Well, VCAT approved it. So
Yeah.
It's been spineless. Quite the opposite.
Spineless, as in not basically sticking up for this community and sort of being out there by opposing something like McDonald's in a place like this, really. I mean, yeah. Yeah,
and that, and then we've had so much protest against this. I mean, we had there's a vacant block of land next to where the building is going to be built.
Yep.
And that block of land was owned by the same developer that sold McDonald's the buildings that are going to be demolished.
Okay.
So we occupied that garden back in October last year and put in a community garden, and we had hundreds and hundreds of people turn up to build it. And that we were there for a whole month. There was someone there every night sleeping over. We've had so much protest. We've surveyed the community. We had a survey of every household in Tecoma. 90% of the households do not want McDonald's, and yet still they continue. And I think that's what's really pissed people off now. Is just their completely belligerent, obnoxious ram-roading of our community. That they just don't give a shit. They are all about money and greed. And, you know, they don't care. These people don't live up here. They don't give a shit what they do to our community.
And they would probably argue, oh, well, it gives our few young people a few, you know, great jobs, you know, basic wage.
Give young people jobs?
Yep.
I'll tell you why, because they've got a commitment to reducing their costs as much as possible.
Yep.
And they only employ 15-year-olds because they're the cheapest labour. So when they talk, it's not because they have some great commitment to training young people and, you know, giving people career opportunities.
That's right.
It's actually because they're just committed to the cheapest possible labour.
And the moment those kids turn 18, they're out the door.
Exactly.
Yeah, because they've got to pay them an adult wage. Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. I mean, I guess just in the last few days there's been some support from the unions and the trades hall. Is that correct? Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so the picket started on Monday in earnest, and it was the construction company, I think it's called Lonsky, is it?
Lonsky.
Anyway, the construction company who McDonald's have got to do it is fully unionised. So there was, you know, all the workers were wearing their CFMEU gear, and, you know, that was raising a lot of questions on site about the CFMU crossing a community picket. There's been some work done with the union, in the build up to this picket, trying to ask for support from the unions. That kicked in on Wednesday when the Assistant Secretary of the CFMU came down to site and pulled all the workers off.
Good.
So they cited a kind of combination of reasons, including that it wasn't safe for their workers to be on the site while there was a picket and a protest. But they also explicitly said that they wanted to. They felt that the community here had a right to protest and be involved in the planning process.
And it is not a good look for union members to be basically crossing a community picket line.
No, it's not a good look at all.
That would not be a great look,
It wasn't a good look, you know. They were in there Southern Cross. Touch one, touch all, crossing community picket. It wasn't a good look, so we really appreciated when that
totally
changed.
It'll just be interesting to see what the company now does, whether they'll bring in scabs or you know,
that's right.
whether they'll come to the negotiating table, hopefully. But
well, that's right. That remains to be seen. But it certainly changed the dynamic down here. To have the workers taken off site, that obviously has incredibly strengthened our arm.
And McDonald's have come out since then and said that they are delaying construction. But what does that mean? Does it mean they're delaying it long enough to work out how they can get scab labour on site?
Enough cops to...
And are they renegotiating with police to increase the number of police on site? I mean, you know, I don't, none of us are under, you know...
Yeah, well, they might be just stalling to try and see, you know, how much interest... whether the interest drops off or whatever, but I mean, I can't see that happening in Norwich.
Underestimated this community, and they continually underestimate this community. I think they keep hoping we'll just pack up and go home, and the thing is, this is our home. Yeah, well, I've been here for just on an hour now, and every car, bar I think 2, have been tooting their horns and, you know, thumbs up.
Yeah, we're getting plenty of, you know, with the Ambos, give us a toot when they go past.
Trucks
and
local
bus drivers, so you know.
Limo tooting us the other night.
The level of support, you know, is incredibly.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, one of the other interesting things that's been happening in the last week has been the high level of collusion between the police and the security. There are actually security taking people off the picket line on Tuesday in amongst the police line. Which I've never seen before in a protest. And then that, you know, security have been, you know, are all employed by Maccas. They've been pretty rough, you know. They literally threatened to break someone's fingers on Tuesday. That threat was made. And then sure enough on the Wednesday, a protester was pulled off the roof and 2 of her fingers got broken. So they were true to their word, you know. So,
it's crazy.
I mean, Maccas, you know, not just... You know, like, you can't separate the actions of security down here from the corporation which employs them. You know? Since that happened, these guys haven't been called off site. They haven't backed off. You know, quite the contrary. You know? In fact, in terms of their relation with the police came down on the night of that assault. Only took the version of the story from the security guards and left. And that was the version they told the public the next day. That the protester had fallen off the roof.
That's not surprising. So, what at this point, what do you know, people who see this video, what do you suggest people do apart from just get down here? Obviously,
if people can't get down here, and it'd be great if people can. You only have to come for an hour or so, just to, you know, be here, lend a bit of moral support. The other things that people would be great if people do is ring Talkback Radio and voice your support for the campaign. Write letters to papers and voice your support for the campaign.
Say I don't live in the hills, but you know.
For sure. And what I mean, I guess it can be a bit hazardous calling certain talkback stations, namely 3AW, etc.
Oh, we're getting plenty of airplay at 3AW.
Oh yeah,
so.
and how's it been? Has it been positive or?
Oh, it's been mixed.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say they were totally hostile, to be honest.
No, good.
And in fact, we had a look at the 3AW website the other night, and there was a story up, and I would say 95% of the comments underneath were actually supportive, and we were quite taken aback by that. So
yep.
I think that's it, just kind of punching through the bullshit that people, if people can help us do that, and talk about the real issues. And then, you know, join the Facebook pages. You know, no Maccas in the hills, get activated, no McDonald's in the den or on ranges, and share stuff with their friends as well. So share the videos, share your video with their friends. You know, get it out there.
Social media has been hugely important to the campaign.
So, it is.
And even if people are motivated enough, give the CFMEU a call and say good on you. Thanks for supporting the community.
No, look, I'll be contacting. I know quite a few officials, so I'll be no, look, I'll give them a call or drop them a line and see what else they can do. There is a branch meeting happening for CFMEU. I think not this week, but I think it's the following week. If things are still happening, hopefully they will be. I'll raise it at the branch meeting, see what else that they can come up with. But look, thanks for the videos, guys, and good luck, and let's stop the Mac, eh? Yeah. See ya.